This video contains explicit content. Viewer discretion is advised. No, seriously, this is your last chance. This is going to get really fucking offensive.
What's going on? Glad to see you. I'm here to tell you some stories.
On Square, the people have a voice too.
I think it's awful. I don't think we need them in town.
So I was a senior in high school, and I'm working in a strip club at night. I'd never drank, I'd never smoked pot, never tasted beer, wine, or anything, never even drank coffee. Never even tasted coffee. Okay, so I've never done anything, and people who went to school with me will tell you that. I was known for that. But the thing is, I was always a fun guy to be around, you know? So I used to work, I actually got a job. I used to fool around with these strippers. Back then we called them go-go girls, you know, it was topless bar. So I used to go there to pick up this girl, and eventually the guy, you know, who ran the bar asked me if I wanted to work there, so I started working. So I was a senior in high school, and I'm working in a strip club at night. You know, it was great. I used to see some of my teachers come up there. That was, every once in a while I'd see the Italian teacher, Mr. Bellardo, come up to me like, "Don't tell nobody you see me up here," because he's a high school teacher, he's a strip club, you know what I mean? And the girl I was dating, she was from Massachusetts. She was actually a runaway from home. Now she's a stripper. Back then, she, you know, when I graduated high school, she came with me, and Twisted Sister used to play right here in Yorktown where I live, right? And they used to play in a club called Club Gemini. That's where they got their start. So we used to go there, and she'd be, you know, she was standing right up in the front. Dee Schneider'd be licking a lollipop on stage, and he'd be putting it in her mouth, because she was a piece of ass, you know? I didn't care, you know, I'm used to that, because, you know, she's a stripper, you know? But after a while, I didn't like the fact that, you know, she would, like, be there with me, and then she would disappear. And what it was she would go, when the bands would take a break, they would go in this back room. So she'd be sitting in the back room, and one time I knock on the door, and I see her sitting on Dee Schneider's lap, right? And she's going, "Yeah, I'll be right out, you know." And the bouncer guys are telling me, "Dude, you can't be here. Come on, out." And this happened a couple times. Then my friends are kind of amping me up, like, "Yo, dude, you're fucking crazy. You bring her here, and she's sitting with them, and this and that. Fuck them guys, you know." So, you know, I'm getting like amped. "Yeah, you're right, fuck her." So now, the band comes out of the back room, and they're sitting like in the club, but in a spot for where they sit, and it's roped off. And now she's sitting on Mark Mendoza's lap, who they call him Mark the Animal. So I go over there, and I'm like really pissed. I tell her, "Let's go. Come on, let's go." She's sitting there, and she's not moving. And that guy, Mark Mendoza, tells me, "Dude, why don't you go for a walk or something?" And I said, "Now, dude, why don't you shut the fuck up?" We started having words back and forth. So finally, she gets off his lap, and she's like, "All right, come on, we'll go. I don't want to, you know, don't cause no trouble." And I was like, fuck that, because he kept popping his mouth. So I jumped on him, and he was still sitting in a chair. And dude, let me tell you something. I'm like 5'6" on a good day, you know what I mean? This guy's like 6'5". I mean, he was a real tall guy. I knocked him off. The chair went back like this, and I jumped on top of him and started choking him and hitting him. And let me tell you something. Dee Schneider jumped on top of me and threw me a beating you wouldn't fucking believe. I mean, he was punching me in the face. The bouncers came. They kicked my fucking ass. They threw me out like I was a sack of shit. The one bouncer was smacking my head off the pole outside. And by the time I was done, I was like sitting like, you know, like this, with fucking, basically with half my clothes were off me. You know what I mean? I had a black eye, and my girlfriend's going, "See, why did you do that? What's wrong with you?" You know? And I was like, "You motherfucker," you know? But like an idiot, I took her to see them again in a place in Portchester. It used to be called Detroit. And she actually had a bad drug overdose in there, and she was put away. Dude, it was like something you saw in a fucking movie. She was talking like, motherfucker, you know, like in foreign tongues and shit, you know. And she was puking all over the car. So I had to take her out of there, and she was in the hospital. But the good thing is, we wound up having to contact her parents, and she was a runaway from home, and she was reunited with her parents. And it was a happy ending. They bonded. She went back up to Massachusetts, and she came back, like, you know, almost a year later, 6 months, 8 to a year later, I can't remember. She actually thanked me, and, you know, because her whole life was good now. She was back with her mother and father. It was me. Shut up, don't say another fucking word. I had another friend that I was growing up with, was a little bit older than me, say, why don't you come over to my house? Of course, the phone's gonna fucking ring while we're talking here. There we go. Anyway, let's get back to my story.